you are.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Yeah. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. And love is too bring me down.
There you are. Wow, that's a happy. I love that song, and I've got quite a few ladies. It's their forever song is the happy song. So I'm gonna start with on my screen who is on the first, and then I'm gonna go through it, and in between we will have some fun. So one of the things is we're gonna play that song, the chicken song. And I don't know if you know the chicken song is la 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 la. And we're gonna do that and we're gonna play Ring of Roses. And we're gonna play what things that's coming up, musical chairs. We're gonna play musical chairs as well. So I'm gonna start with Sarah. My beautiful Sarah. Can you let me know what can you tell us where are you from? And then what is your favorite childhood memory play that you did?
Hi, I'm from Ohio, and I'm originally from Germany, where as a child, my favorite game was always hide and seek. And I still play hide and seek today. When my family gets together, I hang out with the grandkids and we go play and play hide and seek quite a lot. It doesn't matter what age, I love playing hide and go seek.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sarah. That's also one of the things that I do with my grandsons. We play every day hide and seek. So it's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you. And then on my screen, next one is Cheryl. Please introduce yourself and tell us.
Thank you. Okay, I'm from South Africa, and one of my earliest enjoyments was reading, and I still love reading. But the game I used to play was Monopoly, and Monopoly was about property, and property was about acquisition. And I went into property for 32 years, and I played big people property and big people Monopoly, and it was a lot of fun. So you win some and you lose some, and that's what property and Monopoly in life is all about.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. And as you can see, ladies, that's not in South Africa. At Cheryl, they've got load shedding, and that's why your friend
And we play anyway.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming through. I know it's quite a problem in South Africa. It's now about 8 hours a day that your day awake time that you don't have power. My husband say it's really
We've got
getting
the
to me.
power. We've got the power.
You've got the power. So thank you so much for being here. The next one on my screen is Mandy. Come on, Mandy.
So I'm the life and soul of the party, as you probably now realize. Woo! I'm from Southern Ontario in Canada. And I just absolutely love life. I love everybody in it. I love nature. Photography and poetry are my forte. And I had lots of favorite games as a child. We used to play jacks. I don't know if you've heard of jacks, a little small ball with these crisscross tags. So you would throw the ball in the air and you'd put your hand around it and you'd move the jacks into your basket and catch the ball, and became a champion at that. We loved tag. We loved roller skating. And in the winter, the most fun thing to do was to grab our sledges. Hope everyone knows what a sledge is. Some people think I'm thinking of a hammer, but it's boarded with the runners on like ice skis. And we would load up snowballs and we would all go into the garden and we'd have this huge snowball fight. So didn't matter what time of the year it was, we always had lots of fun and lots of kids coming round, because ours was the house where all the children wanted to come. So there we go.
Wow, wow. So in South Africa, Mandy, we will be 58 this year. We only had twice snow, and really, if you think about it, it was ice. It was not like that fine snow that I saw.
It was ice rain. Ice rain.
Ice rain. Well, it looks like snow. It was snow for us.
Yes,
but it's not the same that I saw now in New York. So it was not the same. So
right now we're not at -50 today, but on Friday we were at -50. That included the wind chill factor, and we have had so much snow that on Friday evening I couldn't even open my back door, and one day I had 5 feet in front of my front door to get out of the front door to shovel. So we've just been inundated with these major snowstorms. So great fun for snowmen and snowball fights.
Wow. And ladies, if you do follow Mandy, she is a photographer. She actually does beautiful pictures with the snow, and it looks like a tear drops from the trees. It's beautiful. But what I will also then ask, if you shared, ladies, please put in your link to your contact details or your link to your Facebook. So then at the end, I will also share the chat to everyone so that they can start following each other, because we can only be connected as one if we start following and see if you're okay, if you are doing well, and look after each other. Thank you. Okay, now the screen has moved. So the next one on my one is Trixy. Then after Trixy, we're going to do a dance again. I'm just going to ask you ladies to mute yourself, please. Thank you. And then Trixy.
I'm unmuted. So I'm Trixy Lochner. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm very lucky that my husband has sorted us out with inverters and solar panels, so I don't feel the pain of load shedding as much. When it comes to, enjoying whatever when I was a child, I sat and I thought about, I had so many games. Most of them were very imaginary, and lots of them involved my brother, and we had whole palaces in the garden. But the most tangible thing are these 2 little garments I've got hanging in the back. They're 2 little fairy outfits that were made by my gran for her school. She was a teacher, and it was for a concert. And dress up is my thing. You can ask my children. To this day, I will still dress up at the drop of the hat. Can you see? That's me in the fairy dress. And my brother also used to play along. And my Cindy doll also used to play along. So our thing was dress up and fantasy games, and sometimes it included the entire neighborhood, and it was such fun.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. So I don't know if you guys also see that when Trixy was speaking, my So I'm not sure what's why that is happening. So I do apologize. So Trixie, if you can just show us again your photograph. I could not see that one. Oh wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much. So ladies, I am gonna quickly put on Spotify again. Just give me a minute. Are you ready to have a dance with me again? Simply the best. Wow, 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 ladies. Let me just come back to you. So sorry for this. Awesome. So the next one on my screen is Dolly.
My favorite, well, first I'm going to tell you where I'm from. I live in Colorado Springs, and I am from the Dominican Republic. And when you asked about a childhood memory, what I remembered was we were dirt poor. I lived on a farm with my grandmother and grandparents. They raised me for my first 5 years. And I remember making mud pies and getting lost in the woods with the birds and the animals and swimming, swimming till I couldn't swim anymore. They would have to pull me out of the river because I would have been there all day. But the greatest tool that I used was my imagination. We didn't have any toys. We didn't have any money. So we pretended. When I say we, my little cousin and I, and we would just have fun. I would pretend to be all sorts of things, and loved dancing and singing and just imagining, using my imagination.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Dolly. And can I just tell everyone what we did when I first met her? So it was at Dar's beautiful 80th birthday, and she came down the stairs, and I was busy decorating. And this wave of hair comes around the corner, and I looked at this beautiful lady, and the first thing, I took her hand and I asked her, "Do you want to play with me?" And we played Ring a Roses at that moment. I never did that before in my life, but I can tell you it was the most I can say sacred if I can say that word. I actually don't know what word it was, but it was heavenly. We played, we fell on the ground. They were around, her husband and daughters around, but I didn't even notice. So I don't know how that was for you, because we didn't even know each other's names and we played. It was like unbelievable. Dolly, how did you feel with that?
I have never, ever, ever done anything like that because I'm an adult and I'm proper and I don't do those things, right? But it's like the little girl inside of me that was squashed all of my life came out and she played with this other little girl. And it was magical. It was a magical moment that I've never had before. And I don't know if I'll ever have it again. So it's so special. And Sonnette is my Rosie and I'm her Rosie. That's what we call each other.
So with that, I'm gonna ask you, ladies, if you would like to play a game with us before we continue. With me and Dolly, would you like to play Ring a Roses with me? So the first time we did it, people would say, how are we gonna do it? Don't think how. Just do it. Don't worry if it's okay, if it's right. Even if you're sitting down and you went Ring a Roses, doesn't matter. Just let it come out of your heart and play Ring a Roses with us. Are you ready, ladies? And you can actually unmute all of you. Unmute all of you. And we're going to sing. And doesn't matter if Sarah is first and I'm in New Zealand, I'm lost because of the airwaves. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about each other. Go inside yourself and enjoy yourself. Play with us, Ring a Roses. Are you all ready? Sonnette, unmute. Aritha, unmute yourself. I know, Renee, you cannot. You're still at work. But Ronnie, if you can, unmute yourself and let us go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ring
Ring
your roses, pocket full of posies.
Hush,
All
fall down.
So, ladies, did you enjoy that? Do you want to go and do it just one more time? Just one more time. Okay. But now do something different. Go the other way around. 1, 2, 3. Ring a
Ring a
Roses,
roses, pocket full of posies. Tissue,
Hush,
we all
fall down.
Woo!
Fall down.
Oh wow. I just heard something different. In South Africa we said ring a roses, pocket full of posies, hush hush. And you, Mandy, said something
A tissue, we all fall down.
A tissue,
A
yeah.
tissue. We all fall down. That's what I learned growing up.
Oh wow. And that,
Ashes to ashes was me.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I
wow.
can see you saying mud pies to mud pies, Dolly.
Oh wow. I wonder why there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Interesting.
Folklore, probably. Something to do with folklore. Different cultures, right?
Ladies, did you know that? I didn't know that.
No idea. I thought everyone did the same.
Yeah.
It's Sonnette, it's like sign language. You know, I do sign language for the deaf, right? So this one sign, which is a hook, that's should do, ought to, need to, must. So that's 4 different meanings in one sign. So you think about all the cultures all over the world and the traditions and the stories that have been passed down through generations. And sometimes they can get either distorted or they can have the culture adapted into them. So it just adds flavor to the spice of life in every single individual and every single nationality and race. It's beautiful.
Wow. So, Ronnie, I see you see this is the first time you're hearing this. So, for us, we normally had to hold our hands and we make a circle. And then you start running. You're actually pulling the person on your right hand side, and then your left hand side, you will push. But you had to stay in a circle, and you had to make sure that the circle stayed as wide as you can because you didn't want the circle to collapse. So it was a pulling, you pull and you were being pulled, and you had to run. You had to run, otherwise you will fall down. And then we will sing, ring a roses, pack full of posies. And then as soon as we say hush, we actually stopped, but still holding hands. But it was like stop, like that instant stop. And then we jump up and down, and then we let go of our hands and we fall down, and then we look up in the sky. And then for us, we actually saw the first one that saw an animal, like a horse or something in the clouds. Then we all, oh, congratulations, we all see the animal. Sometimes you didn't see the animal, but because you wanted to play the game again, you say, no, I see the horse, I see the horse. And then we got up and then we start to play again. Yes, Mandy?
Yes, so in England, we'd all link hands and we'd go ring a roses and we'd go round once. When it came to a tissue, we'd all be holding hands. So the hands would all go up as we went, a tissue, a tissue. So we're already looking up, and then we all fall down and we'd be flat on the ground as well. So that's how it worked for us.
Wow, amazing. And Sarah and Deborah, the same with you as well?
Well, the ashes,
No,
the ashes is the American version. You know, and the tissue is the English version. I just did a quick Google search.
Oh, wow.
I know from our end, we didn't hold hands. It was more a little bit of a competition to see who was going to fall down first is the winner versus, so you'd have a group of people in a circle, yet the main person was in the middle and you're trying to beat them. So it's kind of a competition to see who's really going to fall down first.
Oh, yeah, and see, ours was connectively going around and we all went down together.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Never knew Ring of Roses has got so many different varieties. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much.
It's actually very interesting. The whole Ring of Roses came from the plague.
Yes. I was going to say that, but I held back.
It was a finish on you, and then the tissue was, oh my word, now I've got the plague, and you all fall down, and that's the end of you. So that's how that was origin.
That's the dark side of it.
I remember my mother told us when we were children, and we never knew the impact that the guys in the 1920s had with their. And now with us going through our things, we know exactly what those people experience. And I think in our case, it's a little bit worse because we have the internet and we had so much knowledge. And I could look at the care faster where people were isolated and, I cannot even comprehend what those people had to go through in the 19. I think it started in 1919 and 1920. It was the plague, or maybe not the plague, but it was
the 1800s. Actually, 1800s.
Yeah, but my mother was actually talking about the plague that we had when I was a child. She didn't.
Spanish flu, probably. Spanish flu. That killed the biggest people at that time.
There were so many at that time,
So on the screen now, I know that you moved, but on the screen I've got now Sarah. Can you tell us where you're from, and then also a childhood memory for us, please?
Well, I am Sara Imm. I currently live in Clearwater, Florida, United States, originally from Cambodia. My childhood memory, I live in the village. It's a small village in the countryside, just like Dolly. And we did not have any toy. So we have to make up our own toy. And I have my little brother, and we use clay to make like kitchen pots and pans and dish and spoon. So we have a lot of fun doing that. And and for me personally, I love to draw. I have a little table for me, and I sit on the floor and draw. I draw a lot of woman portraits. That's what my favorite thing to do.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's my childhood memory. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, my beautiful Sarah, and thank you for being here as well. And Wendy, it's now your turn, my beautiful one.
So I'm Wendy. I live in Johannesburg, South Africa. I grew up in Zimbabwe. And I remember their tissue part, by the way, of the Ringa Ringa Rosies. But anyway, be that as it may, my memory from childhood, I grew up in the countryside, and we had this huge green lawn that surrounded our house, and it was a big lawn. And I was at my happiest when I was doing cartwheels. It's amazing how I used to do that as a kid. I used to just do one after the other, like cartwheel, and do all these flip flaps and all these things that I can't even think of doing now. But yeah, it was just such a free time. It was wonderful.
Oh, wow. And also, my beautiful Wendy, we started off with your song, your forever song is also happy. So
It
every
is.
time I hear happy, I remember you and I remember Dolly. It is like amazing, amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.
Giovanna, I'm so happy you're here. Please tell us, where are you from, and also a childhood memory on your side.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giovanna, and I am currently from New York. I was brought up in Italy, came here when I was young. So my childhood memories are really from Italy. And oh my goodness, I think one of the most fun things that I can remember as a child is we used to have pillows that we had to make them fluffy. So we took out I'll call it yarn, but we had to like separate it, right? And that was like our fun because we had such an imagination, talk about Dolly, having an imagination when you're young. That's all we did because yes, we grew up with not a lot of money. There was 5 of us, and there was no toys. We made the toys in our imagination. So I truly, enjoy those memories, and I always have them within me when I'm talking to. I was a teacher, special ed teacher, and just to bring that creativity and that imagination in kids, I just wish that we can still hone in on that imagination because it still exists. We took it away. And that's what I kind of teach now is having people tap into that imagination that's within them. And that's what brings us much joy. So, that was the most fun time I had when we're just free to do what we want and create what we want.
Wow.
So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, my beautiful Giovanna.
Thank you.
Girl, I know that you want to go a little bit early. So
Yeah.
can I ask you on your side, my beautiful one?
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Love to
Okay.
meet you, and
Bye-bye,
I need to
Sarah.
go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sarah. Much love.
Bye,
Bye.
Sarah.
Thanks.
Deborah, you can share for us, please.
Well, I'm Deb, and I like to play. I was originally from Philadelphia. I now live in Newark, Delaware. This year, I actually revert back to Deb. I went through a whole transitional period last year with the death of my husband. And as I find myself, as I was a little girl, I'm all alone. I was a middle child. I had no one to play with. They're all boys in my neighborhood. So I had to use my imagination to, make up stories. I would sit on the porch of the elders and listen to them. And then in my mind, I remember one time, let me slow down. One time I got a Zorro doll. I don't know if you guys remember Zorro, but he was a figure on TV in the 60s. It has to be in the 60s. Well, I got the Zorro doll and the Zorro horse. So I decided when my mom sent me to my room as a punishment, which she should have never done, I was Mrs. Zorro. And my sister and I had bunk beds, and we would ride, my husband and I would ride on the bunk beds and go to the circus. And at one time, they had, and I remember, this is my imagination, I was 12 years old. One time I wanted to do one of those tumble salts, and I did another one. And I said, you know what, honey, I'm going to do 3. Unfortunately, I took a bad bounce, bounced off the top of the bunk beds, and crashed through the window. Now, stop action movie. Below this window I was 3 stories above an asphalt driveway. And that's the type of things that I would get myself into. Thank God my dad put a storm screen in that summer, or the summer before. Because I was like 60 pounds, I bounced off the screen back into the room and into the toy box.
So lucky.
Another time I fell out of a pine tree. So whenever I tell the stories of my childhood, it's always me getting into some type of issue because I had to play by myself and I had to come up with something to do. And that's why my husband called me Fast Ass Kate.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. So I think Deb gave me such a brilliant idea. Ladies, can you go to change your name? Let me quickly see where can we do that. I think if we go to participants.
Participants and then rename.
Yeah, rename yourself to your childhood, what I call, or rename.
How do rename? There we go.
Oh. So while you're busy renaming yourself, I just want to make sure this is the chicken song.
See, they'll always approve that, they won't approve the
That's another one I was looking for.
I can't do the chicken dance. I get all in a muddle and twisted up on the floor.
I want the one with the dancing, and I think I've went out through a few and I could not get it. Okay, I will look for it again.
I can ballroom dance.
Oh wow. So I'm gonna do this, ask Sonnette, the next person on my screen. Please tell us where you're from and a childhood memory. Please, Sonnette.
Hi everyone, my name is Sonnette and I'm from South Africa in Pretoria. I grew up on a farm in somewhere, I don't know, I can't remember, but yes, near Petersburg. So what I loved as a child was riding my bike, and swimming, but riding my bike was the best thing that I ever did. So I would ride with my friends about 20 kilos a day. Well, as children, you could do that. It was not so bad. If I take it today, I'll die. I won't have breath. And then the other thing that I really enjoyed was playing with toy cars. I was a real tomboy. I loved it. I had a lot of coloring pencils and I would move my bed away and I would build a whole, like a town effect with roads, and I would drive my toy cars there. And yes, I love driving. If I look today at what I really love, I love driving. That's me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Sonnette. We also could not wait because we were the youngest 3 cousins, but women cousins. So we could not wait for our cousins to have a birthday. They were all older than us, all boys. and to go and drive on their town and racetrack that they have done for us. We could not wait. And then you're so full of mud and ground. Your father or mother doesn't want you to get into the car. That was so wonderful. So the next one on my screen is Ronnie.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Sonnette. My childhood memories, I've got a few. The two that I can remember was the first one was doing, I think I was looking at my mobile, how it's called on Google. It's called, in French, it has a different name. It's called La Marelle. And in English, we call it hopscotch. Is that familiar to all of you? Yeah. So we would draw it on the floor. We would use chalk and draw the numbers, and then we would hop on one foot. So I liked that as a child because I could play it alone or with friends, because I grew up for 4 years all by alone, and because my sister was a baby, so I had to play by myself. Oh, wow. And then as my sister grew up, when my cousin would come, oh, this was really a lot of fun. We would be in the bedroom and we would divide the bedroom as if it was a house with pillows. And then she would bring her teapots, her dolls. So my cousin would bring all her toys. We didn't have a lot of toys. She brought all her toys. And then we would build a tent with the blankets, with the bed sheets. And it was so much fun. Under the table was the kitchen. So it's like using our imagination. It was a lot. We would do that for the whole day. We wouldn't get bored. Wow. So this was one of the best memories I have of my childhood. Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I also remember we never got bored. We never got bored. I see the children of today is getting bored so easily, or they have these toys and then they play with it a little and then they take it away and bring something else. So yes, we also never got boring for that. So my next one on the screen is Aritha.
Somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. So my Aritha, I am Nigerian and I live in Ballito, South Africa. I absolutely love play. And so growing up, I mean, many of the examples you have shared tonight totally resonates with me, but singing and dancing was one of them. And so when you mentioned play, I had to go get one of those kind of dresses that make me feel like I'm in the sound of music, you know, and being Maria, free to be me by the hill. So yeah, and there were so many games we like. One of them was, and a lot of them were singing. There were songs that there were games that had to do with music, and one of them was thread your needle. So we would hook ourselves, or get form a very big circle. It was always nice, the more the merrier, so up to 10 kids or more. And then we would lock our hands together, and the first person starts by going in between the next two and going in and out until everybody would have gone around, and we coming back the circle. The goal was to make sure you didn't drop the ball. So everybody would do that, and you know, it was like a winding, like a snake-like kind of pattern.
Yes.
Then one of the ones I teach my kids now are this from the East. So it's, you know, those games that the ones that you know, it has to do with clapping, and then, you know, the faster, the better and all. And the third one that I absolutely love was, it helped us with memory and with knowing names. And it was something, well, this is an example, like Zoo, Zazu, and away we go. For example, the names of girls. Be quick, Aritha. Be quick, over to you, Sonnette. Say Sonnette. Be quick, Rani. Be quick, Mandy. So if you got to you and you couldn't mention the name of a girl, or if it was a boy, or if it was cars. So we kept changing it, the names of schools, you know, so that way everyone was trying to think. You couldn't repeat anyone that had been called, and if you didn't mention it, you're out of the game.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. We also had a play like that. We had those those cards that you make with paper that you flip it open like that. And then it was a kiss. And then when you open the last one, it was, if it was, we were all girls, if you open the last one, it was a boy's name. And it will say, oh, you have to say 4 is the first 4 numbers. And then you do the open part, the first part, then the kiss, say for instance, a kiss. And then I have to open that one, and I'd say 4 times I have to kiss this boy's name. Then we will go, we're going to kiss this boy. Oh my goodness, this boy didn't even know about you. Oh wow. And tell me, do your children play, because I hear you said you're teaching your children to play some of the games?
Yes. We play them, and now, in fact, one of the ones the boys have found very interesting is the one I say 10-10, and we get up literally, and then we move the legs and move body in a pattern, and you have to get the goal is, if you are the person who is your opponent, has to try and lift the same foot you lift. So you, who's the main person playing, you have to try and close your leg, lift one leg, and make sure they don't get the same leg with you. There's so many crazy, interesting, fun games. And yeah, now with load shedding, yes, my house is busy. We're not bored.
Oh wow, I'm so happy. So I'm quickly going to tell you one of my games. Then we will be going to Stinky. Is that right, Linda? To you? And then Tinkerbell, and I know, Renee, if you can maybe mention it in the chat. I don't know if you can come on voice. And Merilyn, we will go to you, and also Duchess, we will go to you. But I want to say, like when we played, we call it vrot eier, or when the egg is rotten. All sit down in a circle, and then somebody is walking around you, and with a sock. We normally use a sock, and then if the person lifts the sock at the back of you, the other children mustn't tell. But if he goes around and he will come and touch you, then you are the person that has to go around. But if you feel the sock behind you, you can pick it up and you can start chasing him until he is in his den, like we call it. We cannot touch him if he sits down. But the game that we used to play, we call it boompie for plant. It's tree transferring. So we also stand in a circle, one person in front of each other. Then we've got 2 people that's chasing each other. And then as the 2 people, they need to make sure that the circle stays in the circle. But if the person behind you is chasing you, to be free and not to be touched, you have to go and stand in front of somebody else. And as soon as you're in front of somebody else, the person at the back knows he has to run, because the chaser is going to chase him. So the biggest thing for that was not to get caught, because then you have to do the chasing, and you can sometimes chase for half an hour before you can catch somebody. So that was the thing. And then so we call it in Afrikaans boompie vir plant, but I tried to look for the English word, but I could not find that. But we played that. On my 50th birthday, me and my cousin, we actually showed the children how to play that, and we had such a fun. We only played that one game, and I think we played for 2 hours. If we want to stop, the children said no, they want to play more. So that was some fun. So Linda, can you tell us where you're from and a childhood memory?
Well, I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I grew up with brothers that were 6 and 11 years old. And when my mom went to the hospital to have her baby, they said, don't come home with a stinky girl. And my name was Stinky forever. In fact, they gave me away, one on each side of me. And I started to cry when I saw my future father-in-law crying. And they just both jabbed me and went, shut up, Stinky. To which I snored, you know, when you're crying and you have to quit. And I just went right in the middle of the aisle. I was the best bride. But childhood memory, having 2 big brothers, all I wanted to do was be with those big brothers. I watched football. I watched basketball. I wished I could play. Well, I did play basketball, but I wished I was as good as they were. They were everything to me. And I just, was really lucky to have such great brothers. But they called me Pollyanna also, because I really thought everybody could be whatever they wanted to be, because that's what my mother kept telling me. And I, just like Pollyanna, I just wanted everybody to be happy and everything to work out. And guess what? I haven't changed a bit. I'm still Pollyanna.
Wow.
Me too.
Wow. Wow. I will go and look up Pollyanna because I don't know her. And
you must watch the movies, Sonnette, because you have a lot of Pollyanna in you.
Okay, I will.
It's a very good thing.
Because Deborah, I'm going to stick to you. My name for you, I will change it, but not today because I'm so used to calling you Deborah. Hello, come say hello. Kom say hello. Say hello vir die tannies. Say hello, tannies.
Hello.
Is that Zayden? Is that
This
Zayden?
is Zayden. Yes, Zayden.
Yeah.
Hello, Zayden.
Okay, gaan soek gou vir mama, hoor. Gaan. So for me, ladies, I am going back to South Africa the 2nd of March. But I don't want to think about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. So what I wanted to say, when Deborah told me about this lady, I think you call it Deb, she was very funny in the 60s. I cannot remember now her name, but that day I went and searched for her, and I saw she was very funny. She always make a joke. She's got blondish hair, and she was like a bit very funny. Say again, Deborah.
Was it Mae West?
I don't know what was her name, but it was a TV show that she made everybody laughed in the 60s.
I can't remember.
Was it Goldie Hawn?
Lucille Ball?
No, it was.
Ball?
I don't know.
I Love Lucy.
I love
Lucy. I'm thinking of
Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy.
Yes. So I will definitely go.
Now I remember that conversation. Yeah, it was Lucy. Yeah.
Yes. I will go and see. Thank you so much, Stinky. I will go and see. And then I've got Renee. I saw that you said you are from Michigan. And I don't know if you have put down your childhood memory. Let me just see. And Merilyn is from Portland, Oregon. And Philadelphia played Jacks and let me just see. Jacks and Cats. I don't know Jacks and Cats and Cradle at camp when it's raining. So maybe, Merilyn, if you can tell us your game. And then Renee says she loved jumping too. I just want to see if there's another one from Renee. My childhood memory is about jumping rope together and playing freeze tag. Oh, okay. I know, Renee, you are at work and you cannot tell us, but if you can tell us what is freeze tag, I would love to know that as well. Merilyn, I don't know if you can come on screen or just have just unmute yourself to tell us about your game. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Duchess DJ. Can you tell us where you're from and also what was your favorite game that you played as a child? Okay.
Well, hello, everyone. It's Duchess DJ Love. My childhood memories as an only child were wonderful because my parents would spend a lot of time playing with me to keep me happy. So we shot pool. We had a pool table in the living room. And so that's what we do. We would figure out how to make trick shots. We would make the balls jump on each other. We just enjoyed playing pool. That was my game. Now, if I had friends over, it was foosball, which I love playing foosball. That was, but I can't play it by myself. I can shoot pool by myself since I'm an only child. So that's what we did.
Oh, wow. And Duchess, I don't know if you can quickly put on your screen so that I can just quickly tell the ladies if they want to find out about traveling, and you've got a podcast on traveling there, but please follow you. So please put on your details so that I can put it in the chat and send to everybody.
I will. My platform is Gallivanting Like a Royal. And what that is I believe everybody can live a royal lifestyle. I grew up extremely poor, and now I'm very wealthy. So there's tricks and tips that I want to share with people. Mostly it's on traveling because I love to travel. That's my passion. That's my heart. Ever since I've been a little girl, that's what I wanted to do. If you wanted to give me something, you took me somewhere, took me to the museum, took me to the park. Just travel somewhere with me. That's my passion. And so I have a book out called Traveltude, and it's a 30-day trip tips gratitude devotional. And what that is each day it gives you an inspirational quote. It gives you a travel tip, which can also be used for life, how to save money, that kind of thing, how to save time. And it gives you photos that I've taken on my trips, and I try to catch some unusual sights. So the photos are really good. The book is in color. You can also get it on Kindle, the ebook, and it's at Barnes & Noble. So I just want to share the love with everyone, one heart at a time. I believe traveling opens doors that you didn't know needed opening. And so if you get outside of your comfort zone, you'll be surprised at what may come to you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So I think I've got the right song now, ladies. Are you ready to do the chicken song? I just wanted to make sure I got everybody to share. I didn't skip anybody. So I hope this is the right one. So let us see. Let us see. Yes, it's the right one. Can you hear? Here we go, ladies. Wow, thank you, thank you. I love the part that it's going all faster and faster and faster. Oh, wow. So my beautiful ladies, we've got 6 minutes and I have to bring in one more song. But is there anybody that would like to share something, anything about their childhood, anything that, yes, Sarah?
I would love to share something. I think this part of the play is so inspiring to listen to from all of us because it comes down to one common theme, that imagination, you know, that we kept as children and that we wish to bring forth to our children and grandchildren, and how that really is those special memories that we always retain. Wow. So thank you everyone for your comments, because that was very inspiring. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, my dancing queen. Yes, Damsey, is it right pronunciation? Clumsy. I'm so sorry, clumsy.
Oh, that's me. I'm like, I reckon, who else is clumsy on here? You've all just reminded me of something I used to do around the age of 8 to 10. So traveling in the army, we traveled all over the world. And we had all these boxed crates, these wooden crates that they were specially made for the army that shipped all our stuff around the world with us. So when we finally finished back in England, the crates got put in the garage, or garage, as some people would say. And I decided to turn them into a little stage. And I would make costumes from all my grandma's old gowns. I would get all my little friends dressed up. And then on a Saturday afternoon, as a group, maybe 3 or 4 of us, we'd go around the estate and we'd sell tickets to come to the play at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon in my garage. And we always had a sold out garage. That would be about what, 15 children plus us little actors. And my mom would always make cold iced lemonade and bring cookies for the interlude in between plays. So following that, that was my first entrepreneurship, right? And then the next thing was we had a lot of women on the estate who had babies. So back then they pushed prams. I don't know how many of us here remember the old prams. And they loved to hang pom-poms, you know, the ball, the fluffy ball. So I used to get a piece of cardboard, put a hole through it, and then I'd thread wool all the way around, and I'd make these huge pom-poms. And then I got an old box, I made a tray, put a rope around my neck, and I put the pom-poms in the tray, and I'd sell out walking around the estate, and then days later see all these prams go by with my pom-poms. Wow. So imagination and the desire to earn and help and serve was at a really early age, yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Deborah, before I go to you, when you were saying pom-poms, I just quickly want to show you this. This is the traditional Maori pom-pom that they actually dancing with. So they gave my daughter is working for the correctional services here in Auckland, and they actually gifted her this. And they do beautiful dances with this. It's like amazing, amazing. So
beautiful.
Deb, you wanted to say something?
I will be very quick. The picture in back of me is actually a photo of a classroom that I had. I was somehow drafted into being an after-school instructor. I had no teaching training, but because of my creativity, the director invited me to be an instructor. So my room was set up like a train. I have, can you see, a little train going around the globe. And then as the kids lined up to come into the room, on the floor, I had taped railroad tracks in front of each of their chairs, and they weren't allowed to sit down until they told a little story. So even as an old lady, I'm still developing and creating fun.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. Thank you. I did see Mickey said something, but let me just see. Mickey, what did you say? Mickey, can you just repeat it on screen for us?
Yeah, I basically just said, well, what I'll say to everybody, live your life as a manifester. I'm a dragonfly lady, and I have in the last 12 years manifested a life that is amazingly interesting and fascinating. And
no internet, that's why.
Oh, wow. And I just quickly mention Mickey. I met Mickey in 2009. And she was a dragonfly, and I admire her spirit and the way that she had. If she touched you, you feel like you were the most special person in her life. And I admire her so much for that. And I was so happy when you just decided to join the Diamond Beauties, and I connect with you after all these years. It was amazing. So, ladies, it's 1 minute to go. Are you ready for the last dance?
Okay.
I'm just going to mute Duchess. I thought she said, what is 1 minute to go? What? I want to say thank you so much for making this play session such a beautiful session. I actually have put on every month a play session, the first Monday of every month. I want to see if we can do it and keep on, because every month I'm going to ask you, what is your thing that you want to accomplish for the month? And then if you have done, come and celebrate. Let us celebrate what you have done, that you set yourself, you will do it, and you have done it. So ladies, next month, the first week in March, we will have a play session again. So you must let me know. I will also put you on, honoring you to come and be with us. So it's going to be amazing again. So let me see what song I need to play us out. I want to say have a beautiful day. Remember, and evening, South African ladies, and evening. And please look after yourself and smile often. And then you know what I'm going to say. Keep on dancing. So let me just get the song.
And thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Here we go, ladies. Let me see if it's going to play.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. All girls all over the world. Original King Juliet for the girls, man. I love how all the girls, they love to move their body. When you move your body, you know move it nice and sweet and sassy. And right? Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on man. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on man. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, physically fit, physically fit, physically fit. Woman, nice, sweet, fantastic. Bring your body out to the big tight headed woman, and nice, sweet, energetic. Bring your body out to the big tight headed woman, and nice.
Look at Mandy.
Bring your body out to the big tight headed woman, and nice, sweet, fantastic. Bring your body out to the big tight headed. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on man. Woman, you cute, and you don't need no makeup. Original cute body makeup on man. Eyeliner, but you miss a make one with up nose powder. But you miss a make one with up. Woman, you nice bright face, and you nice hip, bright body.
Oh, before we go, ladies, before we go, I would just quickly want to have one more word, Sarah, how was the session?
Excellent.
That was awesome. I'm sorry.
Dolly, Dolly, how was the session?
You can't pronounce it, huh? Rana Blanca, which is, they called me the white frog because I was jumping everywhere. So it was fun. Thank you for playing with me today.
Oh, thank you. And Pooch, how was your session? Wendy?
I don't even recognize myself. It was great. Thanks. It was actually fun.
And Gigi, Giovanna, how was the session?
Very fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Kashmir or Ronnie?
So much fun, so exciting. I really had a good time, and I'm sure everybody did.
Oh,
thank you, Sonia. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Clumsy.
Well, I have a lot of nicknames. Mandy May is one of them. It's now one of my pen names, but I've also been called Mandy May Magic. And I have had Mandy May Magic here today with all of you. And I love you, Sonnette.
Oh, wow. Thank you,
love you
I love you too. Mickey, and you?
Very super. It was fun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And Deb Smart?
The cat's meow.
Yes! Meow.
And Trixy, if you're still there. And Renee and Merilyn and Duchess DJ. You can just leave in the comment that you enjoyed. I will copy the comment on and send it to everybody. For the ladies that's on here, that's not part of the group for today's session, I will just add you so that I can also let you know as soon as the recording has been sent to you. I do believe I have everybody's email addresses, but the ones I don't have, I don't think I've got Marilyn's one. I will just ask, and then if you would like to have the recording, I will be able to send it to you through via transfer. Okay. So great show, said Duchess DJ Love. Thank you so much. Debs, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a
Got
beautiful
around. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Had a great
Love
time.
you.
Appreciate
Love
it.
you.
Thank
Big
you,
hug.
Sonnette.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye,
Awesome
everyone.
Bye-bye.
day. Bye, Dolly. Bye,
Bye.
Deb. Bye, Dancing Queen.
Bye, everyone.
Talk soon. See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye, my husband. I will phone you back, okay? Okay, bye. Bye-bye, Mickey. Bye, Trixie.
Bye-bye, my love. Farewell. That was fun.
Thank you. Thank you for
Bye.
being part of
Bye.
it. Bye, Marilyn. Duchess, are you going to hold on for me?
I'm holding on for you. I am.
I've got a fly that's irritating me. It's just me and you, Michael. Let me stop the recording.